The support race was underway first, but was to be red flagged almost immediately when number 68 Joe Kelly crashed his 600 Yamaha past the start line. George Jeffers didn't get a good start either. He crashed at School Corner. When the race was restarted, it was Colin Rogers, number 41, who was to lead from start to finish. It was the tussle for second where the interest lay, though, in this race, with number 33, Andrew McLean, on the 250 Yamaha, and Kenneth Bowman, number 79, on the 600 Suzuki, locked in battle. On the final lap, the second place spot was continually changing hands between both riders, while Colin Rogers continued to stamp his dominance on the race. It was on the approach to Main Street that the second place was to be decided when Kenneth Bowman made a late effort to pass Andrew McLean. On the fast approach to Main Street, he lost control and overshot the corner, taking quite a tumble there. Watching it in slow motion, the foot off the rest, and eventually losing the front wheel, and down he goes. It looked quite painful, but fortunately Kenneth able to walk away with minor injuries. He had his problems, but Colin Rogers didn't. He took the checkered flag. There's confirmation. Rogers first, Andrew McLean second, Gavin Bell in third place. A final wipe for the visor of Gary Dines as he waits on the front row of the grid for the 125 race. Dennis McCulloch checks his steering. But McNally is in trouble. He's on a borrowed bike his own out because of carburetor problems. He made it to the start, but only just. On commentary, Alan Drysdale and Harold Crooks.
Owen McNally, the last man in onto the line there for the start of the Super Kings 125 race, the final road race of the season. Here at Carrowdore, heading down now towards Cardy Corner for the first time. Second group getting away there, led by number 44, Barry Davison, from number 51, Alan Pagan, the local man from Carrowdore.
And on the approach into Cardigan, it's Mark Curtin, he's in front, but Gary Dines sneaks through on the inside. Curtin in second position, Dennis McCulloch in third, Robert Dunlop in fourth as they head out over the top of the hill, out through the brig here for the first time.
Heading now towards Donover School, and we pick up the leaders as they come through the left and right hands. Out over the hill they come, down to New Road, and it's Gary Dines leading from Mark Curtin. Through there about 40 miles per hour on the left-hander, up the New Road. And one or two of the boys getting into problems there, Alan.
Yeah, Darren Burns there running wide. Looks as though he may have suffered a seizure on the way in.
But it's still Dines, the leader, from Robert Dunlop on the number 4 bike. Mark Curtin, number 7, then Dennis McCulloch in 4th place. Over the jumps they come, and it's Dines there in number 6, coming from the right side of the road there as we look at it, to take the corner first. And it's Dines from Robert Dunlop, but up into 3rd place goes Dennis McCulloch. He has a look to see where Mark Curtin is, and he's still in his back wheel.
Yeah, so now they're coming up into Ballybully Corner. Round this right-hander then, hard on the brakes now for the left-hander. Gary Dines leads, Robert Dunlop second, Dennis McCulloch third, Mark Curtin in fourth, David Lemon in fifth, and Joey Dunlop back there in sixth.
End of the first lap. Dines 1.1 seconds ahead already, but look at the battle, it's still Dines. As they go round Cardy, putting a little bit of daylight between him and Robert Dunlop, but they've still the same order. Dennis McCulloch in third, Davy Lemon on the Lemon machine there, Joey Dunlop dropping down a place as they go out towards the brig.
And out through the brig, Robert Dunlop there in second, Mark Curtin through in fourth, but here coming down into New Road, and Gary Dines very fast and very wide, and Gary Dines in all sorts of problems. He's going to lose, they'll get past him, they'll have a better drive out of the corner, so Robert Dunlop through into the lead.
So a costly mistake there by Gary Dines, just running that foot wide. He loses 2 places, and Robert Dunlop goes to the front. Dennis McCulloch is second, Dines is third, and Curtin still holding on there in 4th place at Farmhouse. So Robert Dunlop now really charging on as they head towards the village of Carrowdore. And look at Dennis McCulloch. He has gone past both of them. Dines now in 2nd place. Robert Dunlop must have run out of power there because he's back to 3rd place. McCulloch leads, Dines 2nd, Robert 3rd, Curtin 4th.
And McCulloch leads over the jumps, and Gary Dines, oh, that was close from him. Robert Dunlop trying to go up the inside as they go into this left-hander. McCulloch sweeps round from the outside. Dines still second. Robert Dunlop coming into Ballybully, and Robert, I think, loses out a little bit in the braking here in these sharp corners.
Yes, and of course he's using a thumb brake rather than an ordinary lever brake, as we see the remainder of the field there coming through Ballybully Corner. But look back to the front of this tremendous 125 race. Dines in front again. McCulloch hanging on to second, round Cardy. Robert Dunlop in third, Curtin there in fourth. And as you say, Alan, somebody going really wide there. Was that McNally?
Yeah, McNally's in a real charge. He's up to fifth now as we come back down towards the schoolhouse, towards the New Road turn. And it's still Gary Dines in the lead from Dennis McCulloch. Robert Dunlop there in third, and in fourth position, going well here, Mark Curtin.
And it's Dines, Dunlop and McCulloch, the running order at the front of the field. Heads down, flat out in the 1-2-5s, and look at Robert Dunlop going for the front, and yes, he has made it. It's Robert Dunlop, number 4, now leads from Gary Dines, but on the brakes again. Will Dines get him? Yes, Alan, you're quite right. He has a problem there on the braking into Carrowdore village. Dines gets him, leaving the braking to the last moment.
David Lemon then coming through, followed by McNally in fifth and sixth position. Next up there's Trevor Ritchie, followed by Gary Long, then number 3, Joey Dunlop, and at the back, Ryan Farquhar.
But the leader now over the jumps, down into Ballyboley, it's Robert Dunlop. Dines on the outside, McCulloch still sitting in there. Remember, he swept past them all there last time around. Then we see the jumpers as they come, almost reminiscent of a motocross there as they come across the jumps at the cottage on their approach to Ballyboley corner.
And Robert Dunlop sneaks through there into the lead as he goes through Ballyboley. But Gary Dines still there in second, McCulloch in third. Heading down towards this very fast right-hander on the approach to Cardy. David Lemon then through next in fifth, followed by McNally in sixth, Trevor Ritchie seventh, and Gary Long in eighth. Joey is ninth, and Ryan Farquhar is 10th, and that's Brian Campbell at the back in 11th.
But the leader is Robert Dunlop from Gary Dines, Ryan Cardy. A little bit of a gap now coming between second and third, but he's still in there. Davy Lemon still hanging on, and McNally, of course, on a borrowed machine, having difficulties getting, probably it's not as fast as his own, and he's not used to the handling of it either.
Yes, and Robert Dunlop's come down into the New Road, and Gary Dines is gone, so Dines must have overshot it. Donover corner, Robert Dunlop now the clear leader. He's going for the break, drops the hand there to his fans, and there's Dines through in fourth position. So Gary must have made a mistake somewhere.
But no mistakes from Robert Dunlop as he crests the hill there. The front wheel coming up in the air, even these V125s. Dennis McCulloch hanging on there to second place, but Robert Dunlop is the man on the charge. On the brakes there, we see him as he gets into Carrowdore village, right out to the curb, heading up over the top of the hill where the start of this race used to be. And there's the man who made the mistake, Gary Dines.
And this is the battle for seventh. Gary Long just leading there from Joey Dunlop. Gary just crouching down there and throwing away a visor as he goes up over the top of the hill.
But certainly throwing nothing away in time and speed is Robert Dunlop coming down into Ballyboley. Gary Dines now trying to make up for the ground he has already lost. McNally jumping hard there to make up on the men in front of him, followed by number 17, Trevor Ritchie. McNally really fast through the fast stretch down into Ballyboley corner. Robert Dunlop, the man leading. Round he goes. Mark Curtin now making a charge up to second place. Dennis McCulloch down to third. Robert Dunlop has a look behind him as he goes out onto the last lap.
And Gary Dines following that mistake all on his own now in fourth position, so it's going to be a lonely ride for him. There's McNally in fifth, Trevor Ritchie in sixth in this battle for seventh, and it's Gary Long still holding off Joey Dunlop in eighth, David Lemon in ninth, and through into 10th goes Ryan Farquhar.
On the last lap, Robert Dunlop up to Cardy corner, down the gearbox, down a couple of cogs, through there about 70 miles per hour, heading now for the brig for the last time. Out over the hill he goes. No doubt Gary Dines wondering why he made that mistake. McNally now still hanging on in there on the borrowed machine. Trevor Ritchie, Joey Dunlop and Gary Long. Joey having a little thought about going in the inside there, but Long leads him through the left-hander down towards the brig.
And coming down to the brig here for the last time, Robert Dunlop goes across the top of the hill. Mark Curtin in second, and there's a visor has flown down. Is that Robert Dunlop's, Harold?
Yes, I think he peeled it off there and threw it in there and bounced to the side of the road, so he's going to have some problem seeing for the last half of this last lap.
Robert Dunlop then up towards Farmhouse, and if that was his visor come off, it'll be tears in his eyes for him as he goes through there. Curtin is in second, excellent ride from him. Dennis McCulloch in third as they head down towards the village for the last time.
And picking up the back marker there as they come down in, Robert Dunlop, Mark Curtin, Dennis McCulloch, and they're pulling away from McNally. Over the jumps for the last time into Ballyboley, it's still Robert Dunlop on the PJ O'Kane Honda. Curtin in second place. And here's Gary Dines hanging on grimly to fourth, followed by McNally and Trevor Ritchie.
Oh, McNally then coming through, and McNally's going to win the Super Kings Championship and the 125 Road Race Championship.
But the man who's going to win the race is Robert Dunlop on the PJ O'Kane Honda. He takes first, Mark Curtin is second, and Dennis McCulloch is third.
So Robert Dunlop smashing race and lap records while picking up his first win here since 1993. Mark Curtin got second. In third place, Dennis McCulloch.
I was sort of sitting to see what the rest of the lads would do and just tried to up the pace the last couple of laps, and fortunately for me, Gary Dines overshot one of the road ends. We were side by side and he was on the inside and he just straight on, so that was a bit of a breather. I just rode hard, you know, there to try and break the toe of Dennis and Mark Curtin, so it worked well. My visor came off in the last lap. Coming out of the bomb hole, I clicked it on the screen when the bike was in the air and it just whopped it clean off, so I had a bit of a watery eyes the last lap. It's quite tricky.
Why did you do this extra lap?
Well, as I say, my eyes was very watery. You know, whenever you come to the end of the straights, you're doing 130 miles an hour in these bikes. When you sit up and the one blows straight into the helmet, it's very hard to see. So I didn't see the fellow with the red flag, unfortunately. So sorry about that.
That's all right. In the 200cc race, it was Raymond Hanna on the 200 Crossnar HS who took the honours. Local man Alan Pagan in second on the 133 Yamaha. Jack Sands in third place. Well, an enthusiastic and young Ulster Grand Prix fan here. Club secretary Tommy Carberry's obviously feeling the pressure. Next race up, it's the Junior Open. Joey Dunlop's on the second row, while in front it's Dennis McCulloch, Ryan Farquhar, number 77, Owen McNally on bike number 9, and the current 250cc champion, Gary Dines, hoping for better fortune in this one after overshooting in the 125. In the second group on the bigger bikes, Richard Britton and James Courtney await the start. This race to be run over 5 laps.
The Milltown Meets Junior Open race gets underway, and the first man there to show I could see was Ryan Farquhar. Then we go back to the 750s. Remember, this is 2 races in one, but already we're with Adrian Archibald, Alan. Some exciting stuff there already.
Yes, James Courtney there wheeling through in the lead. Archibald now been swamped by Stephen Ferguson there, and Jason Griffiths as they get through this first right-hander on the approach up to Cardy Corner.
But the 250s are led by Gary Dines from Owen McNally and Dennis McCulloch. Joey Dunlop back there in 4th position, dropping back a place almost as they come into the corner, now in 5th. Out over the top of the hill, it's Gary Dines from McNally. McNally on his own machine this time. You see his foot flick off the gear lever as he comes into the corner for the first time. Then it's James Courtney on the big 750 Tilston Honda, leading from Jason Griffiths, Richard Britton and Adrian Archibald.
Richard Britton now on the rise up towards the top of the hill here on the approach to Farmhouse. Up Gillies rising, it's really undulating stuff going up there, real teeth-shattering action.
And Britton in 2nd place, now past the man who lives in the Isle of Man, Jason Griffiths, who had a big smash at the Carrowdore a couple of years ago. But in the 250 race, it's Dines from McNally out onto Carrowdore Street. He has a quick look over the jumps now at the cottages. It's Dines from McNally. A 2-horse race now, this in the 250 championship points at stake in this one. Down into Ballyboley Corner, Dines leads from McNally.
And in 3rd position there, it's Dennis McCulloch, and in 4th position, Ryan Farquhar.
And Farquhar there, Alan, on a borrowed machine. He's riding the Sandown 250 that was normally ridden by Derek Young, so Farquhar getting a ride in it at the Carrowdore. As we see Dennis McCulloch there at Cardy Corner.
And back with Richard Britton now on the run down towards Cardy through this right-hander, and that's Jason Griffiths, and the John Webb RC45 Honda goes through. Much faster machine, but Britton's going to try him on the brakes. Is he at Cardy? Well, they're coming into the braking area now. Surely Richard's not going to be that brave. He is that brave. Super move from Richard Britton.
And you can hear him, the drevs dropping as he goes round the left-hander now. But at the 250, it's still Dines from McNally. The 2 rivals who have battled it out all season, still at it here at Carrowdore, the final road race of the season. Ryan Farquhar on the Sandown Honda.
Yeah, Ryan there's been surviving on a borrowed machine since his big prang at the mid-antrim. Jeff McMullen there just coming into shot in the 400cc class.
So heading now towards the right-hander, over Gillies Rise and through Farmhouse, the 250 men, Dines and McNally, still making the running at the head of the 250 race. On the brakes into Carrowdore Village once again. Interesting to note, Dines, he looks over his right shoulder, McNally looks over the left, and here's Joey Dunlop on the 250 being gobbled up by the 750 then of James Courtney. It'll be interesting to see The power out over the top of the village street, but we're back with the 250s. Dines leading from McNally.
And here's Dennis McCulloch falling away a little bit in third position, going through the left-hander there. But back here at the New Road corner, Owen McNally is in the lead, but he's not going to get stopped, and back through inside and goes Gary Dines into the lead. McNally in second position, heading now away into the right-hander in the distance, and next man into New Road, but in fourth position McCulloch has gone through. It's Ryan Farquhar.
And then we pick up the 750 leader James Courtney on the Tilston Honda. He's powering it, but we're back on board with Richard Britton. Some tremendous shots here, Alan.
Yes, and it's flat out from here to Farmhouse, so it'll be interesting to see if Richard Britton can use his superior power to dispose of these other riders. He's past Joey Dunlop. Now the next man he's coming up on is going to be Trevor Ferguson. Can he get past him? Coming up towards the top of the hill. Gaining all the way, moving up alongside Trevor Ferguson. He's disposed of. Next in his sight, it's Trevor Keys. Into Farmhouse he goes. He's not going to catch him before Farmhouse. No way you can pass anyone through here. Now he moves over to the left. He's past Trevor Keys, and now he's his eyes on RJ Hazelton as he heads down towards Carrowdore.
And the differential in the speed there, tremendous between those guys, but there's no differential between the two men at the front of the 250 race, Gary Dines and Owen McNally. They're into Carrowdore Street once again. That right look over the shoulder is taking a second this time to make sure that McNally's still there, and he is still there. And there we see Dennis McCulloch in third place over the jumps to come. Look at the height of the front wheels as the power of the 250s. Tremendous difference between them and the 125s at this particular point. But it's Dines down into Ballyboley. McNally appears round the edge of the house there. Hard on the brakes, down to the bottom of the gearbox, then accelerating out. McCulloch still in third place in the 250 category.
Ryan Farquhar then coming through in fourth position there on the Sandown machine, number 77. And here's James Courtney leading the 750cc race on the RC45 Honda. Back with Dines on the approach to Cardy Corner, and he's pulling away, Harold, I think, there from Owen McNally.
Yeah, McNally is losing a bit of ground because there's Dines disappearing. McCulloch now in third. I wonder will he be able to haul in. There's a fair gap between him and McNally in second place. But at the New Road, it's still Dines, a back marker in front of him, and he has to squeeze. Oh, look at that. He had to squeeze between him and the hedge. And here we're on board now with another on-bike shot with Adrian Archibald, and ahead of him, this time it's Joey Dunlop.
And again, it's going to be 620cc's versus 250cc's as they climb the hill here. Archibald in seventh position in the 750cc class. Can he close in now on Joey Dunlop as they go up Gillies Rise? The machine taking a terrible pounding there as he comes towards the top of the hill. And he's just moving up alongside as they crest the top of the hill. So Archibald goes through, but no, Joey doesn't let him. Joey moves across, superb there from the old master.
And Joey's still ahead there on the 250, on the PN250 from Archibald. Two Ballymoney men battling it out together. And the two men in the 250 class still battling it are Gary Dines. Really fast through the final stretches into Ballyboley Corner. Staying ahead of number 9 McNally, who's starting to close in. Alan, you said we thought he was dropping back a bit, but he seems to be regaining some of the lost ground as Dennis McCulloch comes through there in third position.
Peter Shepherd there coming into view, but here's the leader of the 750 just coming up behind 31 Peter Shepherd. Number 1 James Courtney, behind him 77 Ryan Farquhar, fourth in the 250. So Courtney on a flyer. Gary Dines going through on his way to taking his third win here at Carrowdore and retaining his 250 championship title if he can stay ahead of Owen McNally. Dennis McCulloch goes through in third position, a little bit off the pace there of the two men ahead of him today. But now we're back with Adrian Archibald coming up inside Joey Dunlop on the approach to Cardy Corner. Is he going to make it stick this time? He drops that 620cc machine down the gears and he cranks through on the inside and he's through.
And certainly Joey having to give away that time, but Gary Dines is giving nothing away as he comes round onto the New Road for the last time. Here he comes, Dines, the man in command, going for his third win, as Alan has said. On the brakes into Carrowdore, turning on the power, has a final look to see if there's any opposition there, and we see it in the form of Dennis McCulloch in third place. Then we see Ryan Farquhar and James Courtney. Farquhar on the 250, Courtney on the 750.
And the leader back at the Man's Road jumps, Gary Dines. Spectacular wheelie from him in the lead. Owen McNally, wheelie's also in second position, but now into the Ballybully corner for the last time. It's Gary Dines.
Cranging around the left-hander, keeping everything in control. Gets the accolade of the crowd as he wheelies to celebrate his win. Then we see McNally in second place in the 250 race. And then it's James Courtney, the first of the 750s, third on the road. And then the battle for second, Britton and Jason Griffiths heading for the line, the last sprint. And look at Britton.
So confirmation there of the 250cc race. Gary Dines taking the honours. Owen McNally second on the Aprilia. Dennis McCulloch third.
Start to finish winner of the 250 race. You've retained the championship, the Irish Championship. You must feel fairly happy about that.
I'm happy enough. Lap record there as well, so
You went for it right from the beginning.
yeah.
And you're aware that McNally was behind you.
But at one stage he was actually in front of me, passed me. I'm not sure it was the second lap or the third lap. And then he slightly overshot at one of the road ends, and from then on I had no bother really.
In the 750 class, there was an easy win for James Courtney on the Tilston Honda. Richard Britton second, holding off the challenge of Jason Griffiths.
I just got away at the beginning there and tried to get away, and I think it's a wee bit easier if you get away in front. More time to work at it and hit the back markers first there, the 250 group. If you can get by them quick and good, it makes it a bit easier, yeah, but we'll try and get away early on.
Would you consider that a major problem, hitting these back markers?
Well, it's not. It's really only in the first race now. For it's the 250s go first. In the second race, it's not so bad. But in the first race, you're always expecting hitting a good 10 or 15 in the first few laps. But
Now, does this win here today compensate you at all for the Ulster Grand Prix in any way?
no.
He's an honest man. Richard Britton can wrap up the 600 championship here today with a win. Among those out to stop him, Hourglass man John Donnan. So here's the front row. We caught a glimpse there of Archibald, then it's Britton, then it's Donnan, and James Courtney on bike number 11. On commentary, Alan Drysdale and Harold Crooks.
The revs build as the Regal 600 race gets underway, and we're on board with James Courtney. Number 11, but already he's been passed by John Donnan, Adrian Archibald, Richard Britton and Barry Maguire, so he's back there in fifth place, a few yards off the line.
And through Cardi for the first time, Britton leads from Archibald, Stephen Ferguson in third, John Donnan in fourth, James Courtney in fifth and Barry Maguire in sixth.
And at Schoolhouse, it's Britton, Ferguson streaming through there, then we see Gary's Church showing at the back of the field. Down into New Road for the first time, still on board with Courtney. Crying into the left-hander, right out to the edge of the ditch there. The revs building up now, and we can hear the machine building right up to the limit of the revs. You can hear it cutting and out as the rev limiter comes in, but it's Britton from Archibald through Farmhouse for the first time. Stephen Ferguson, John Donnan, James Courtney then in fifth place.
On down towards Carrowdore Village they go for the first time in this Regal 600 race. Into the corner, and it is Richard Britton. The tyres squirming on the brake, and Archibald right behind him in second position. These boys dashing it out for the Irish Road Race Championship as well. Britton checks back with Courtney on the approach to Village Corner in Carrowdore. Courtney now accelerates up the main street, which has been totally resurfaced this year, so that makes it an easier run for the riders. Over the top of the hill, and then just goes down past where Main Street becomes Manse Road, and on the way up to the jumps on this opening lap. Over the big jump at the cottage now.
And it's Britton from Archibald. Then we see Donnan in third place. Round the left-hander and the right-hander into the start-finish area. It's still Britton from Archibald. Donnan still there. Then Stephen Ferguson, James Courtney in fifth place. A real battle on at the front. And although the Regal Championship has already been settled, Archibald is giving nothing away. But Courtney then trying to keep in touch with them, keeping them in camera as they head out over the jumps once again. It's still Britton from Archibald. Archibald having a thought about going up the inside there, Alan.
Yeah, brave place to do it, going through on the inside at Cardi. Interestingly, in this race, none of these riders have actually won a 600 race at Carrowdore before, so it'll be a new 600 winner. And now we're on board with James Courtney at the brake, catching up on Stephen Ferguson through the left-hander on the run up to Dunover Corner. Courtney, has he got a faster machine? He's moving up behind, he's moving up alongside, and he's through.
And still full tilt as they go down to Dunover Corner. James Courtney now up into fourth position, slowing it down, running it round the left-hander, still turning on the power, chasing the three men in front. A lot of ground to make up as they head down through Schoolhurst. But at the new road, it's still Britain from Archibald. Their battle has raged all year, still continues. Britain in front, Archibald again having thoughts about him. A little bit of room there, but no room to get through on the inside there. Tight in a slipstream, but it's still the Britain who holds sway on the brakes. Into the corner he comes, turns on the power, has a look to see it. Archibald still there, and we're back on board then with James Courtney still in 4th place.
James Courtney then accelerating up the main street, trying to catch John Donnan as they go over the top of the hill. But here's the leaders at Mans Road Jumps, and Archibald, oh, that was a horrible moment for him there in 2nd position.
And he just got it caught in time. Courtney still closing in that little bit, and Donnan in 3rd position, round the left-hander, down into Ballyboley once again.
And at Ballyboley, Britain in the lead from Adrian Archibald as they head out onto lap 3. Archibald trying to get up alongside John Donnan in 3rd, James Courtney in 4th, and Stephen Ferguson in 5th position. At Cardy, it's still Britain in the lead from Archibald. A little bit of a kick there on the braking as they go through.
And James Courtney now closing the gap on John Donnan on his left-hand side now as they come up to Cardy Corner. Can he hold on to that advantage he's got, and he sneaks through on the inside? So a brave move there by James Courtney right out to the edge of the road as they head down into the brig. But at New Road, it's still Britain from Archibald, heading now for Farmhouse. Round they come, still Britain. Archibald just about a yard from his back wheel. Brave stuff that, Alan.
Yes, and they'll be trying to outbrake him on the approach to Carrowdore, but Richard Britton has looked very good in the brakes. All the braking area at Carrowdore, they're very undulated. They're pretty much like washboards in the way into them. That's why you see the machine squirming about so much. But it's still Britton from Archibald as they head up Main Street, and now they're over the Mans Road Jumps. And another bit of a wobble there from Archibald, but not as bad as last time, Harold.
Certainly a little bit tidier that time, but he's still there in contention. Archibald still wondering where he can get past this man Britton. On the Schimmel Honda, the Dowd Honda of Archibald, just a match for him all the way. He just can't find that little bit of space as we see James Courtney now in 3rd place, John Donnan in 4th, Stephen Ferguson still hanging on there to 5th place. These 5 pulling away from the rest of them. The gap now just a 1/5 of a second between Archibald and Britton. And Britton still the man who's leading as we go on to lap 5, and Archibald having a thought again about the inside and a passing move, but still has to give way again, Alan.
Yes, he's trying everything on this last lap now. Out over the brig, and still it is Britton in the lead, but they come down through into Schoolhouse, and Archibald has gone ahead. Archibald ahead at Schoolhouse. Richard Britton then into the New Road, tries to outbrake him again, but no, it's Archibald. So are we going to see a move now from Richard Britton? He's led throughout. Can he hold on? Up they come towards Gillies Rise, and Britton is sneaking through on the inside. Superb move from Britton. It's Archibald going to go up the inside. No, Britton shuts him off. Richard Britton leads. Archibald is 2nd as they head down towards Carrowdore.
Tremendous confidence in each other there, Alan, as they battle it out side by side down on the brakes. And look at Britton squirming, as you say, really hard as they come into the village street for the last time. Yes, he's still there, Richard. You needn't worry, he's still on your back wheel. Then in 3rd place is still James Courtney. He's into Carrowdore too, comfortably in 3rd place, but the man setting the pace is Richard Britton over the jumps for the last time, even tidier this time, and no doubt pushing it as hard as they can down into Ballyboley for the last time. Courtney in 3rd, Donnan in 4th, and Ferguson in 5th. Little bit of a wiggle there from John Donnan on the wider line, but into Ballyboley for the last time. It's Britton from Archibald. Will he be able to get round on the outside? No, he's going to have to give way the power to the line, and there's only half a bike's length in it as they get the flag. But we're back then to the battle for 3rd, and it's still James Courtney from John Donnan and Stephen Ferguson. No room to get past the man in front, and it's Courtney who takes the 3rd place.
So Richard Britton taking the 600cc championship with that win over Adrian Archibald. James Courtney was 3rd, John Donnan was 4th. But what a very close finish.
One bike would have done the 2 of us around there. We were that close at times. He passed me in the last lap coming around into the first road end, and I followed him down and up the next road end. I got a good drive out of the corner, and I just sat behind him, and I got the slipstream, and I just got up alongside him. The 2 of us over the jump like this here, wheels in the air. It was unbelievable. Only I had the right hand side of the road, so I was forced for the corner. But brilliant race.
You had the situation under control there?
I wouldn't say I had it under control. Like it just got down to the last corner. In fact, I thought he made it come up the inside of me there, so, but he didn't. So happy enough.
Sat behind Richard just to see if I could force him into a mistake, but it didn't happen. So up at the first road end, I came past in the brakes there and sort of led for about a mile, and then down the back road we were neck and neck over the jumps, and Richard just got into the left-hander in front of me, so I just had to follow him up to the line. Then there was really nowhere else I could pass him. I just tried at the last corner, but it just wasn't possible.
In the classic race, it was a real duel between Carl Wilkie on the 750 Triumph and Glasgow man Dennis Gallagher on a 750 Sealy Westlake. Gallagher, in his 60s, had been a winner here in 65, 66 and 67. Had to settle for second place this time. Carl Wilkie took the victory, Wallace Seawright was third. Next, it's the feature race of the day, the Carrowdore 100. James Courtney takes his place on the front row. In the 250s, McNally hoping to improve upon his position in the first open race. Dines hoping for an action replay of his earlier victory. On commentary, Alan and Harold.
Revs building off the goal. James Courtney, the man to lead them off the line on the 750, but we're on board with Adrian Archibald on the onboard camera.
And Jason Griffiths there just going down past him. Joey Dunlop sneaking through on the inside in the NS 500 Honda. And into Carter they come for the first time. Courtney in the lead. Jason Griffiths in second position. Joey Dunlop third. And Adrian Archibald fourth there. Fifth position is Gary Dines as they go through.
Heading for the brig, and you can see the difference in the power and the speed as they come out of the brig for the first time. The 750s really getting the front wheel in the air, and James Courtney at Schoolhouse, a rare way of getting around to there. He holds himself up as they come round the right-hander, but down into the new road for the first time already. James Courtney putting a fair bit of distance between him and Jason Griffiths. Here's Richard Britton, the man with the onboard camera, almost being scythed there by Joey Dunlop as they come round the left-hander. Joey giving nothing away there, Alan.
He certainly was not. Here they come into Farmhouse, and in second position it's Jason Griffiths. Joey in third position. Richard Britton sitting there behind him, suitably chastened, I might add, following that move at the new road by Joey.
But it's Courtney on the Tilston 750, setting the pace into the village street for the first time. Richard Britton again, Joey Dunlop chopping the nose off him there, almost wiping the smile off his face, Alan.
Certainly is. He wasn't chasing at all, Harold, but here's Courtney over the Mans Road jumps. James Courtney, and he's charging away. James's dinner must be on early tonight. And here we are on board with Archibald. Gary Dines over the Mans Road jumps there ahead of them, going into the left-hander then up towards Ballyboley.
And it's Courtney into Ballyboley, the back wheel squirming a little under the braking as he comes down into the left-hander. Then it's Jason Griffiths, Joey Dunlop, Richard Britton.
And we're on board with Adrian Archibald as he heads out onto lap 2, accelerating up through the gears, up to 160 miles per hour, going down into this next right-hander.
Courtney, the pace setter in the left-hander at Cardy. Jason Griffiths now approaching it, wide out on the right-hand side then, cranking it in. But Courtney already disappearing. Joey Dunlop, Britton and Gary Dines still chasing, but at Schoolhouse James Courtney has that exceptional way of getting through it.
And Richard Britton here still harrying Joey Dunlop through Schoolhouse, up over the top of the hill, hard on the brakes now for the new road left-hander. They get through at about 60 miles per hour. Joey there, his knee right down onto the tarmac, accelerates away.
Still driving hard at the front is still James Courtney. Up over the rise of Gillies Rise, pulling away from the rest of the field, still led by the second place man Jason Griffiths, Joey Dunlop, Richard Britton and Gary Dines on the 250, hanging in there amongst the bigger capacity machines. Down into the village they come. James Courtney hard on the brakes, still in control, has a quick look at our camera point there as he accelerates up over the top of the hill.
And this man's hard on the brakes as well, because Britton's now trying to get up the inside of Joey Dunlop and almost catches Jason Griffiths there as they go through. Up Main Street, will it be the faster machine? Surely it must be Joey Dunlop on that Grand Prix Honda. Over the top of the hill they go. Where's Joey? Are we going to see Joey Dunlop powering past Richard Britton as they come into Mans Road? And there he goes. Dunlop goes ahead as they go up to the Mans Road jumps. And on up into Ballyboley now. And Britton again tries to go through the inside, but Joey says no, Richard.
And Joey, the man that you would think would be taking life a little bit easier these days, certainly giving nothing away, expecting nothing to be given to him on the 500, but the power of that 500 Grand Prix Honda showing there.
And at Cardy, Jason Griffiths then in second position, leads Joey Dunlop in third, Richard Britton in fourth as they pile through that corner, accelerate over the top of the hill. At the break, Griffiths still leads from Dunlop, from Britton, from Gary Dines and Adrian Archibald.
Through the Schoolhouse, it's still Griffiths in second place, Dunlop, Britton and Dines. But at New Road, it's the leader, James Courtney, on the 750 Honda.
And here's Richard Britton trying to outbrake Joey Dunlop again, but it's still Joey holds him off as they accelerate away. And that farmhouse is Jason Griffiths in second, Dunlop in third, Britain in fourth as they charge down towards Carrowdore village again.
And the leader, Courtney, completely in command, under no pressure whatsoever. Accelerates up the village street, but look at the battle now for this second, third and fourth places. It's still Griffiths from Britain, who has now eventually got past Joey Dunlop. But will Joey get the power on in the big 500 Honda once again, Alan? And there he goes. So it's Dunlop using all the power of the 500 to sneak ahead of Richard Britton once again, out over the jumps to come. Griffiths, Dunlop, Britton, and Britton really having a go at it there. But into Ballyboley comes the leader, James Courtney. Then we see Griffiths, Dunlop, Britton still hanging in there. Gary Dines in the 250 thinks he can get through on the inside, but he has to hang back. Right on his back wheel is Adrian Archibald.
And we're back on board with Richard Britton as he heads down towards Cardy corner. Joey Dunlop still ahead of him. James Courtney at Cardy, goes through. Accelerates hard there on the Tilson Honda. Jason Griffiths through behind him in second position. Then Joey Dunlop still holding off Richard Britton, who's trying to outbreak him at every possible opportunity. Out across the brig, and James Courtney, a bit of a wiggle there, but we're back on board now with Britton out over the brig. Dunlop ahead of him. Richard Britton's coming up now, trying to close in on Joey Dunlop.
At the new road, it's still James Courtney leading, but we're back on board with Richard Britton, going for Joey Dunlop yet again. Power on this time, up into Dunover corner, overshooting this time, going far too fast.
And here we see it on board from Adrian Archibald. Simply no way Richard gets dropped. Joey Dunlop goes through. Adrian Archibald runs a little bit wide there as well as they go down the new road, and Gary Dines goes through ahead of him.
At farmhouse, it's Archibald from McCulloch and McNally. The three of them now line abreast as they head towards the village. And what a surprise there for that man Archibald. First Owen McNally goes past on one side, then Dennis McCulloch goes through on the other side, but he's hanging on grimly to the 250s as they head down into the village. The power still on the brakes now as they come into Carrowdore, and the 250s have the advantage there because they're lighter and more manoeuvrable, but up the village street they come.
And at the Man's Road jumps, it's Jason Griffiths in second position, Joey Dunlop in third, Gary Dines in fourth, and a three-way battle for fifth as they come up there over the jumps.
But at Ballyboley, it's the leader, James Courtney, going out now onto his fifth lap, powering away. Then we see Griffiths putting a little bit of daylight between him and Joey Dunlop in third position. Then the 250s chasing after them, led by Gary Dines, Owen McNally, Dennis McCulloch. Then in seventh place, it's Adrian Archibald.
Coming through now in the eighth position, it's Richard Britton following that overshoot at Dunover corner.
But the leader, James Courtney, now in the fifth lap of 6, rounding Cardy corner. Out of the brig, then he comes, a big wheelie there. Then we see Jason Griffiths in second place, Joey Dunlop in third, and then the 250 battle, Dines, McNally, McCulloch, and chasing them is Adrian Archibald on the 620. Dines looks over his shoulder to see where the other two 250 men are. At Schoolhouse, it's still Griffiths in second place, Joey Dunlop third, Dines. Then Archibald is moving up ahead of the other two 250 men. At the new road, it's still James Courtney.
And Jason Griffiths coming through in second position, but the battle hotting up for the positions behind. But still at the top of the hill, Gillies Rise there into Farmhouse. Jason Griffiths goes through on the John Webb RC45 Honda. The battle now on for third position. Joey Dunlop is 3, McNally is up to 4th, McCulloch is 5th, and Gary Dines in 6th.
But here is the leader, James Courtney, breaking into the village street. Settles down in, flicks his wrist as he goes up the gearbox. Jason Griffiths now comfortable second place. He has a quick look to see where Joey Dunlop is, and at the jumps he's right behind him. So it's Dunlop from McNally getting the front wheel really high as he comes over the jumps. Dennis McCulloch and Gary Dines, the running order. But back at the start-finish area, going out onto his last lap, turning on the power is James Courtney. Then we see Griffiths in second place, hanging on there. Joey Dunlop seems to be closing a little bit on him, Alan, there as he go out onto the last lap.
Yes, Joey is closing in Jason Griffiths, but he in turn has been closed in on by Owen McNally with Dennis McCulloch and then Gary Dines. But back here with the leader, James Courtney, through Cardy for the last time. Griffiths coming up into Cardy as well in that second position.
Out of the brig, Griffiths comes. Joey Dunlop on the 500, both wheels in the air. Then a massive wheelie there from McNally.
And that new road corner is James Courtney. He eases it through, accelerates away, pops the wheelie. James is already starting to celebrate. Here he is at Farmhouse, coming over Gillies Rise into the left-hander at Farmhouse, and Courtney now on a charge down towards Carrowdore Village. Jason Griffiths comes through in second position, just passing Andrew Steele there, number 75. Andrew has a quick check to see where the rest of the pack is, and they'll be chasing him down shortly, because there they come into view. Joey Dunlop from Owen McNally.
But the leader, a wiggle there, still the power on from James Courtney. Out to the right-hand side, out into the village street for the last time, no doubt. He'll be a happy man. And he shows it with a long, long wheelie over the top and a little bit of a wiggle there to thrill the crowd at the top of the street. And it's Jason Griffiths in second place.
And Jason Griffiths up over the Man's Road jumps. Joey Dunlop up over in third position. McNally still chasing him in fourth position there as they go towards Ballyboley for the last time.
Where we see James Courtney, the man of the season in the 750 Tilston Honda, going for his 7th double of the year. He rounds Ballyboley corner for the last time. A small wheelie there to celebrate. We see then Jason Griffiths in second place, but looking back then for the battle for third. Will Joey Dunlop be overhauled by Owen McNally? No, McNally still there on his back wheel as they come to the line. McNally takes fourth.
So veteran Joey fending off the challenge there for McNally to take third place. Jason Griffiths was second, but Courtney, another convincing win.
Well, again, I just tried to get away early on and try and make the break early on, and that's what I did, and got away and enjoyed myself around the corridor here. So I did the other day, and everything went well.
Now, if I remember rightly, this time last year you were a bit down the dumps. You were even thinking about packing in this racing, but things have changed a lot in the past 12 months.
Yes, it's definitely now. This time last year, wasn't feeling so good about the whole thing, and this year's been good. At last, we've got a good, clean year so far. Still a bit to go yet, and hopefully we'll get through it okay. I'm looking forward to the next year again.
So 2 wins today in the Superbike class, a third in the 600. You must be very happy. Man of the meeting.
Yeah, happy enough, yeah.
I'm sure he's happy as the clearing up begins at Carrowdore. And after an exciting day's racing, it's time for the bikes to be put away. And for others, it's a chance to sign autographs. Next week, it's the final round of the Irish Short Circuit Championship at Akadui.